This program may contain adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning.
So, how was your week?
Fabulous, as always.
Good. And this week in history, we have a very special day today.
What's so special?
Well, it's National Garage Sale Day.
I love garage sales.
That's how I clean all the crap out of my house.
You know what's so great
my
about
basement,
them?
attic, and garage.
Everybody always knows when they are because they're the second Saturday in August, always.
Oh, so
Always.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because summertime is the best time to walk around and go through people's junk.
That's right.
Okay? Because you never know what you're going to find. Somebody's junk is somebody else's treasure. So anyway, today, National Garage Sale Day. Everybody's out there selling their crap, if you want to call it that. But it's a great day. But you know what yesterday was?
No.
Vinyl Record Day. Do you have any vinyl records left?
I do. How about you, Anthony?
I got about 150.
I have a bunch also.
I still listen to them.
I do too.
I have a few that still are wrapped. And unfortunately, I mean, the people died, but that just made it worth so much more. Like I have Michael Jackson's. I have like 5 albums, 5 vinyl records of Michael Jackson.
That haven't been opened yet.
That have never been opened. They're in plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have one of Prince and one of Cher. Cher's still alive, though, and I'm happy. I'm happy she is.
Well, she's ancient.
I love
She
Cher.
can't be around too much longer.
I love Cher. I do. My first album, Half Breed, I have it, and I also have it in plastic, too.
You know, by the way, if you heard a familiar voice, Anthony from Mafalda's Restaurant is with us again.
Great to be back.
Yes,
Yeah.
great to have you back. You know, we had so much fun last week. We were hoping you could do another guest appearance
Thank you for
with us.
calling me. Yep.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
And you know what? Just in case anybody didn't listen last week, just want to say Mafalda's is on Nottingham Way. His number is 609-651-2025. Reach out, make a reservation. You'll be glad you did. And don't forget to follow him on Facebook.
You'd be glad you did.
Always.
So we have some interesting facts this week on boobs.
Oh, it's a boob week, huh?
Yes. You know, last week we were talking about wieners. This week about boobs.
Okay.
And your boobs basically stop growing after you turn about 25. Unless you gain weight or get pregnant.
Still grow until you're 25?
Until your boobs are growing until you're 25.
Wow.
So don't be like you turn 16 and get a nose job or a boob job. Get the nose job because your boobs are still growing.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it is true that when you become pregnant that, things change there too.
That's right. And you're probably not going to get any bigger after your mid-20s.
Ah.
So then you get the implant.
Then you get the implant.
Unless you get pregnant.
Yeah, then they
grow.
and then they hang down to your knees after that.
Not necessarily. It depends. It depends on the lady.
Speaking of ladies, I need you to Google a woman named Annie Hawkins Turner.
Okay, tell me about her.
She has the world's largest natural breasts. They are a V cup.
Really?
She started wearing a bra when she was in the 3rd grade. And when you see her picture, you will be amazed.
Is she the blonde hair girl?
Really?
Is she blonde hair?
No. She's dark-haired, dark-skinned, extremely voluptuous.
Yeah.
Yes. And each one is bigger than a watermelon.
Unbelievable.
It sounds like my type of girl.
Here she is.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
Wow, look at those.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they measure 109.22 centimeters. It's 43 inches. Ay. I can't imagine how you can just stand
It's like 2 pillows on her.
a 48V bra. They have to make her bras.
V for Vincent.
Not really. In her mind, it's for victory.
So, you want a girl like that, or do you want love? And
I'll take the girl like that over love any day.
Ay, 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 ay.
well, either way, Anthony, go after it. Go after it. You know, most of us seem to be single, and a quick Google search.
What do you mean, seem to be single?
Well, most of us seem to be single. Do a quick Google search, and it will tell you that 43% of Americans over the age of 18 years old identify themselves as single.
Okay, I would imagine over the age of 18 and probably under the age of 25.
Well,
You know, I mean, then there are some people, of course, there are older people. But if you're saying most people, I would say before you're 25, definitely.
A lot of people getting divorced too now.
Absolutely.
that is true.
Oh my gosh, I saw something the other day that was horrific. Oh, I didn't see it actually myself. I was told because a friend of mine is on Match, and they saw somebody on Match that is getting divorced, and it's one of my old-time friends, and I felt terrible. And that's how I found out about it. And oh God, awful.
It's like, I'm getting divorced. Here I am. I'm back out there. How did she look?
He.
I wouldn't be interested.
No.
Yeah.
And he's gorgeous. He's always been gorgeous, but that's not the point.
Well, you know,
I just felt badly.
that's terrible.
I see you look really upset.
Well, I get all of these crazy emails, from the searches and things that we do. So I get all kinds of crazy stuff. So you know how the saying used to go, "It's okay to look." So I get an email from seniors.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, it's a dating site for seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, you know what, this would be some great research for the show. So I click on it. Well, that was a mistake because now I can't get rid of them.
400 emails later.
Yeah. So these are people that are over the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're looking for love and
Looking to mingle.
yes,
Granny's
that's right.
gone wild.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking through these profiles, and I know why they're single. I couldn't imagine. Some of these girls, 50 years old, they look like they're 70.
I have a little advice for you.
She always does.
No. This is really important because your actual email is now being taken up with all this stuff, and they'll send you 4 of them in an hour.
Wow.
Okay? I know this because of the research that I do. So I use a different email address, actually, to do our research because
Well, why didn't you tell me about that before?
I didn't know you were going on the single sites.
I'm not.
But anyway.
What are their descriptions? Like make love and I'll bake you cookies and watch General Hospital afterwards.
I'm looking for a man who is breathing.
On his own.
I don't think that's what they're doing. Oh my God, stop it.
I want a woman who could cook. The last one, she didn't cook. She made all the only thing she would make is reservations. She didn't know from a kitchen. We had built a new house. No kitchens.
Ay.
So did you do that single search? 43% of Americans.
Actually, I didn't do that. I wasn't.
And singles, as
Searching.
you
Single as
pointed
you're
out.
looking to mingle.
That's right. Now, when we talk about dating, we talk about hooking up. We talk about defining things and setting boundaries and popping questions and breaking up before things even really get started.
Sometimes, yeah.
We talk a lot about what's wrong with dating. And I'll tell you what it is.
But I think I have a better idea. What about what's right?
That's right. Nobody puts an effort for dating.
Did you ever notice that people talk about what's wrong with the other person and talk about what's wrong,
What's wrong with yourself?
Like politics. When they go after each other. They never say what they're going to do that's positive. They always say what the negative person's doing. That's the same thing with anything. Just like this. They talk about what's wrong with dating, what's wrong with the other person, what's wrong. What about what's right?
Well,
But there's not much right because half the population is single.
that's right. And dating has turned into a one-night stand. That's the new relationship. One-night stands. In
Doesn't
fact,
have to be.
I know it doesn't have to be, but what do we talk about? A lot of, and you're going to know what I'm saying. You know, people can't even get off their phones during a date. You know,
Well, we always say, put the phone away.
turn it off, put it away.
the phone
If you
away.
need to check your messages, you go into the ladies' room
Yeah.
and check it, because there's nothing I hate more. In fact, I've even seen it at your restaurant.
I know, and that's a pet peeve of mine. I mean, it gets me angry. I mean, I ain't going to say nothing to them, but they're out on a date and they're all on their phones and the kids are on the phone, so you got a family of 4 eating all on their phones.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Is anybody
Yeah.
even looking at the food, enjoying your food?
You know, it's very rare that my kids and I and my husband, all 4 of us, go out for dinner. It's very rare. But when we do, because we can't get everybody's older now, and you know, my kids are in their 20s. But when the 4 of us are out,
Lisa's in her 60s. She's going to be 70 her next birthday.
You look good
and
for
we're gonna-
70.
Yeah, we're going to have a big party for her. I think that's
anyway.
great.
Yeah. So in your dreams.
Her kids
So,
are like 40.
Actually, my daughter's 25 and my son will be 22. But
Yeah.
aside from that, I think Anthony believes me over you. So aside from that, when we go out for dinner, nobody has their phones out because we want to talk to each other. And we look around and we see other families. And again, a family of 4. You're right. Even the 8-year-olds have their own phones.
What's an 8-year-old doing with a phone?
I know,
Exactly.
who are they texting?
Well, they're not.
What
They're
are we
on
doing?
YouTube.
What are we doing after recess?
They're on YouTube, which is ridiculous. But yeah, we're looking around. We're like, oh my God, they're all on their phones. It's crazy. That's craziness. It's mad.
They even do it at the movies. I don't go to the movies that often because
of that, are they crunching your ear? But especially you see the
You
phone
see the light.
screens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you see the
glowing.
light. That
It's
bothers
glowing.
me too. I won't go either.
Yeah, and give your full attention to the person that you're with. You know, even if we have a real date, and what is a real date today anyway? I don't even know.
Well, I don't know either because I don't date.
How about you?
Dinner's a real date. You take
Dinner's
them
a-
out to eat.
You do. Now, but what if you don't know the person well? Because now you're in an intimate setting.
Well, it doesn't have to be intimate. You can go out and have a nice dinner with
Anthony's
somebody.
restaurant is very intimate.
Okay, but he's not always going to his restaurant with his
Well, I
date.
go to restaurants like that. I'm not going to take her to Applebee's or something on the first date.
Exactly,
Go in a
but
nice-
you're gonna also.
But you don't know her, and you're going to spend top dollar.
Well, you got to build up. That's why you got to text and email for and talk on the phone.
You
got to
gotta
know
learn-
them.
you're
Yeah.
right, you gotta learn a
You gotta
little bit
build
about
it
them.
up before the date. It's not like
So, texting rather than talking.
you start off with texting and Facebook, then you go to talking, then you do the date.
Okay.
Yep, you got to build it
And
up.
so you kind of got an idea if you like the person or not, and you want to spend $50 on dinner
Yeah,
for him.
exactly.
Yeah, because I always felt as though, and it's been a long time since I've been in the dating scene, but I would always do like a diner. Let's go grab a coffee and a piece of pie and see if we like it. And I would say, see
Okay,
if we
but
like each other.
When did you date?
I-
Years ago.
When they still had diners.
Exactly. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Times have changed. We're not dating in the 50s anymore. For pie.
After the sock pop, you want to get some pie and coffee with me?
Exactly. See? He understands.
I told you it's been a while. I don't know. I got to tell you a funny story about dating. So
He always has them too.
my girlfriend has a girlfriend who has a daughter who was like 21 or 22. And we've never met the daughter. So my girlfriend says to me, Julie's daughter wants to come and visit us and meet us. And I go, why? because Julie told her to. So she said, do you mind? She's going to come down. And I says, yeah, no problem. Well, she came down for the weekend. So here's a 22-year-old girl who I have no clue what to say to a 22-year-old girl. She comes. She happens to be very, very nice. We sat and we talked. And now I had to take her somewhere. Where do you take a 22-year-old?
Oh, come on. You can go anywhere. You can go out for dinner.
I had no clue. So,
but the two of you can take her out for dinner.
Take her to the park. You could play Pokemon Go.
That is really bad.
Somebody just fell off a cliff.
I play. I should look.
Okay.
You probably got some Pokemon in this room right now.
Two people fell off a cliff in California. Yeah.
50 to 90 feet they fell.
Yeah, people are going crazy. My son is insane with it. He was walking around our lake with his phone. Just, you can get really hurt near a lake. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's right. There's alligators in them lakes.
Not in my lake.
We were actually after work. It was raining, and the guy, me and the busboy went out. He was holding the umbrella, and I'm walking trying to catch Pokemon. My beautiful loafers. I fell in a pothole, and my shoe got submerged in the water. I almost broke my ankle.
Exactly. People are getting hurt. People are getting hurt and run over by car. I mean, like, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Well, anyway, getting back to my date with the 22-year-old.
It wasn't your date with the 22-year-old.
What year is this so we get into perspective? What year? What decade?
It was, no. It was recently.
It was recently. So I took her on a hayride, which she happened to like. It was around Halloween. It was a haunted hayride. And then we went bowling. And I'm like, what else can I do with this kid to keep her occupied? You know, and so it was like I was dating only two girls at the same time. It was a very expensive night. So that was my experience. Anyway, we did have a nice time, and I pulled a butt cheek when I was bowling.
Which one of theirs?
The left one?
Yours?
Yeah, my butt cheek. I pulled.
You're talking about that?
No, I didn't go anywhere near her butt cheek. Anyway, so that was actually the last date that I had. That was a couple years ago, and it was I guess a double date.
Yeah, double date.
Anyway, the truth is none of us are really making an effort to change things. You know, we all want that big encompassing love. We want fire. We want romance. We want the sparks. We want that never-ending passion. We want to keep the attraction high.
Always keep the attraction high.
That's right. And, you know, we want a person who challenges and supports us. You know, one that will never stop trying. Yet none of us are willing to step up and be that person.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
You always do.
I think there are people, I never disagree. I always agree. That's not it. I think that there are some people that are willing to give it all, give their all, give it all they've got, keep the attraction high, as you said, do all that. I think some people do, some people don't, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that people realize that they have to give of themselves. Some people are so wrapped up and, you know, their egos get in the way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and some people have really big egos. Some people have small egos, but some people have really big egos. And they get wrapped up in themselves and they forget that it's important to, you know, give to the other person. And that's
to love freely, in other words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really important.
You know, the truth is that, you know, that kind of love that we're all aching for isn't the kind that plays by the rules.
No, love does not play by the rules.
No, it does not.
No.
You know, it's a kind of love that actually involves you, because nobody wants to be the first person to ask someone out on a real date. We don't want to pick up the phone. We don't want to state our actual intentions.
I think most women don't want to be the one to ask the man out. I think women are looking for that genuine fella who's going, if you will, who's gonna, you know, sweep them off their feet. You know, and they'll give it back. They'll give it back, but they're looking for that. I have to be honest. A lot of guys, you know, have been lacking in
They're
that area.
lacking because they're so beaten down on rejection. They're afraid.
Man up, guys. Understand something. Confidence is key. If you're confident, she's going to want you. Smile at her, maybe even wink at her. But be a man, be a guy, be confident. That's what women like. They like confidence.
Anthony, you ever been rejected?
Rejection's going to happen.
Not really. You
Yeah,
know, when they.
me either.
I'm a handsome guy. You
Yeah,
know?
me too.
I'm a handsome guy. Women love me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, then the two of you have no problem getting the girl, huh?
No, we don't.
Nope.
All right, so there's no
Honeys
problem
love
there.
me.
Okay.
Anthony gets the young, thin ones. I get the old, chubby ones. But Anthony, them old, chubby ones are much more appreciative.
They're
Let me-
experienced, too.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Yes, they are. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I know. You know, there's a kicker about love. You know, someone has to be willing to go first with love.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't. You know, we all want love, and we want the kind that you see in the movies. You know, we want people to charm us, just like you said, to sweep us off our feet. That's what we want. But we won't do these things, the very things that we want someone to do for us.
Well, I think that's silly.
It is silly.
I don't know who you think that is not doing it, because I know people do it all the time.
They do it.
They love to do it.
They do. They'd love to.
Yeah, they just did it. They could do it again.
Yeah, it's good to be the king.
Absolutely.
Well, the truth is that people fall in love with honesty. They fall in love with passion.
I think we were talking about honesty before. That's very important.
Well, I was agreeing with you. I don't
Yeah,
always,
it's important
you know.
to be honest.
Yes, it is. I think she's telling me something. I don't know.
And I sense a vibes coming.
Yeah,
here.
I sense gaggers.
No.
You know, people will fall in love with people who know what they want and then go for it.
People will, like you said, fall in love with confidence. When you know what you want and you go for it, that's a confident person.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? You know, maybe that guy, you know, you've been crushing on, you know, hasn't considered the possibility of you and him together. You know, but he would if you would first express an interest.
If you stop playing hard to get.
So-
that's it.
that
They
hard to
play
get
hard
is
to
big.
get. Yep.
And
then,
Okay,
then
well-
because
Get you.
I get, you know, I'm not going to keep pursuing. You want to keep playing games?
That's
Well,
This ain't
I don't-
Monopoly. This is real life.
That's right. That's right. You know, maybe the hairstylist that you've endlessly been pining after, you know, hasn't been complimented in a while. You know, maybe there's a limitless number of people out there who would be happy to fall in love with this hairstylist. If only you would make the first move. You know,
Well, I have a
take the
good
step.
idea. Everybody who's listening to this now, email me at trendradio920@gmail.com. You can come see that hairstylist that wants you to fall in love with him, and I am personally going to give you a $100 gift certificate just so you can. How about that?
That's right, because this hairstylist who I know is really a nice guy.
Yeah,
And-
$100, guys.
That's right.
Email me now.
I've said this over and over again. You know, if only you'd make the first move, if only you take the first step, if only you leave that door open for someone to walk through. But you actually have to leave that door open. And all it takes is hello. It all starts with hello.
A hello and a smile.
That's right. We want to thank Anthony for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun to talk to. He had to leave quickly. He had an emergency at the restaurant. It seems the case of lobsters fell over in the kitchen, and he's got lobsters all over the place. He's got to collect them.
Yeah,
So,
they're running around. Click, click.
at least there's this woman in a farmer's market. And what she did is she stripped down to her bra and panties to promote some body acceptance.
Oh, that's a little bit radical, don't you think?
I think so. I mean, I know me and you. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and didn't like everything you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but I don't care what anybody else thinks. So that's not
either
the
do
point.
I. That's the beauty
Yeah.
of being Elise and Anthony.
That's funny.
Well, this story is very interesting. You know, if you've ever obsessed over your cellulite, your dark circles under your eyes, or arm jiggle,
Everybody has something.
that everybody has something.
Yeah.
You know, this woman, in the name of self-love, although I thought self-love was something different.
Yeah. Self-love is something different. She's just an exhibitionist.
Okay.
That's just what I think.
Well, this small town activism, you know, they say really may have the power to quiet down huge insecurities and fears.
Okay.
And you know, we all have some insecurities and fears deep down inside us.
Oh, yes, we do.
So to promote this self-love and the body acceptance, Amy Pence Brown stripped down to her bra and her underwear in a busy farmer's market in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, my.
And she had a sign in front of her said, "I'm standing for anyone who has struggled with self-esteem issues like me, because all our bodies are valuable."
Did she get in trouble for that?
No, she did not.
Really?
She was a local hero.
Really? Because if you did that, you know, can you imagine at our farmer's market, at Columbus Flea Market, you know, you walk in and you see a girl standing there in a bra and panties, tell me that the police wouldn't be there. They would be.
Yeah, well,
I think
the
that-
police in our town have nothing to do.
I think that she would be in trouble here.
Yes. So if we're going to do it here, we'd probably have to do it in a bikini.
Okay, you could do it in a bikini, yeah.
Yes. And I would have to do it in my my
Speedo?
Speedo, yeah. That I do not wear in the United States when I'm out of the
Is
country.
it a thong Speedo?
No, it is not.
Just thought I'd add that in there.
Yeah.
I know it's not. That's funny.
So anyway, what she said was and the sign said, "To support self-acceptance, draw a heart on my body."
Oh, so how many hearts did she have?
Oh.
She was loaded, wasn't she?
She was loaded. And, you know, she wondered whether or not a positive reception would be given to her, you know, because she's a little chubby. And she's a mom who's 40 years old, and in a place that is, you know, very conservative, like Boise, Idaho. She stood there for like 50 minutes, and she stood in the center of the market, and teens, children, men, women, and entire families stopped to offer her more than just a hand-drawn heart. I mean,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
They gave her hugs. They gave her words of encouragement. They thanked
See,
her.
that's really nice. That's really fantastic that they embraced it. It doesn't happen everywhere where that kind of thing happens,
no, it doesn't.
but that's a beautiful thing. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
She made a difference in people's lives.
She made a difference. She absolutely did. You know, some people left her flowers, and
That's awesome.
you know, after, you know, her allotted time, like she stood there for a little under an hour. Amy found things like hope, thank you, I love you, I love me, drawn all over her body. Just
That is
messages,
so
not
nice.
just hearts.
That is so nice.
Yeah, she said that, you know, the sweat was running down her rolls of back fat and cellulite.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and
I got nothing on that.
yeah. Well, she said.
See, that just wasn't my vision.
Well, this is what she said. And she said that, you know, a bikini top holding up her sagging breasts that nourished 3 babies, the stretch marks that represent my transition from a chubby adolescence to a curvy teenager to a woman, has been, you know, she's been pregnant like 4 times.
Oh, wow.
Amy says, in a society that profits from self-doubt, liking yourself is a rebellious act.
A rebellious act?
A rebellious act, liking yourself. Huh. Is that amazing?
I don't understand that, actually.
Well, it means all bodies are beautiful.
Well, absolutely. I never heard that term, though, a rebellious act to like yourself.
Oh, yeah, because most people don't. There's something about everyone that somebody doesn't like.
True.
Of course, people like you and I just don't care.
I don't, but yeah, okay. It's interesting. I just never heard it put that way.
Well, that's what she said, not my words.
Interesting.
So, speaking about all bodies being beautiful, I'm watching a YouTube video on facial and body waxing. For face, arms, armpits, and I come across a video on Brazilian waxing.
Okay.
So I know that I'm never going to do one at the salon, but you never know.
I don't think you're ever going to have the opportunity to do a Brazilian wax.
I don't know that I would want to.
To have one done to yourself, that's a different story.
No, I'm good. I'm good. So this video is really, I don't want to say explicit, but detailed.
Okay.
And I've never seen so many unusually shaped coochies in my life.
Oh, it's that explicit?
It is that explicit. They show you how to do it. And
wow.
I did not know this happened, but one of the girls getting waxed, they didn't show her face, but they showed her body, and her vagina was sagging.
Really?
Just like, just like.
Well, how old was she?
I don't know, because you didn't see her face. She was, she was slender. She had a nice body, didn't show her face, but I'm telling you, the vagina was wrinkled and sagging like
That's
an
weird.
old woman.
Well, maybe she was an old woman.
She may have been. I don't know.
I would think that she'd be older if she was saggy there.
Right. Now, personally, I don't think I've ever been with a woman much over 30 years old. So anyway, thanks to the internet and we here at Trend Radio, we have found that there are several ways to keep your vagina young.
Thank God you found this.
Yes, and by the way, you won't hear this kind of stuff anywhere.
No, only here. Only here. You're lucky, and you know what? I'm going to hear it too. How lucky am I?
You're a very lucky girl.
Oh,
You're a very lucky girl. And just like I was saying that, your face starts sagging, your lady parts sag too. Over
what
time.
about your men parts?
Yeah.
Is there a sagginess there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in. Well, yeah. One is usually a little lower than the other. In fact, you can go to a Chinese restaurant and they have a specialty dish named after men's saggy body parts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're you go in the next time you're in the Chinese restaurant. Ask for a dish of one hung lows.
Yeah.
You'll be very, very surprised at what you get.
Yeah, you'll be glad you did.
So, we especially know there are a million products to keep your face looking good and supple, but your vagina is kind of left to fend for itself. And
I got nothing.
You always got something.
Yeah, I right now, no.
Well, gynecologists don't tell women these things are going to happen. And then women are shocked, that their vagina has completely changed over just the course of a couple of years.
Well, most women don't actually look at it.
No, they don't.
So they don't really actually know that, I would imagine. Because I've never actually had that conversation with any of my girlfriends.
Well, as you know...
And we talk about everything. And saggy vaginas have not ever been our conversation.
But your girlfriends can't even name the parts of their vagina.
How do you know? Do you talk to them about it too?
I do not talk about anybody's vagina. I got my own I got to worry about. Anyway, Karen Boyle She's an MD, and she's an expert in female sexual health and vaginal rejuvenation.
Oh, okay.
So you can make your lady part, I guess, a little tighter, a little
and
less
younger,
sagging.
and yeah.
And she says that beginning as early as your 20s, you can lose fat around the outer parts of your vagina.
So instead of it being plump and young, and I guess it becomes saggy and less plump.
Right. That's,
I don't even know what to say here.
It's called the pubis mond.
Okay.
Which is the mound of fatty tissue, right in that area. Mm-hmm. And those areas start to sag. And its volume goes down, just like your breast or your face as you age. Mm-hmm. And that's often followed.
And I guess you lose elasticity too.
Yes, you do. And that's where the changes start inside the vagina.
I see.
And as you approach menopause, the lining of your vagina starts to thin, the blood flow decreases, and your pelvic floor muscle weakens. This is according to to cosmetic gynecologist Marco Pelosi. He's an MD in Illinois. I've never really seen a saggy vagina, but
well, you saw one when you were watching the waxing thing for the Brazilian. You saw that brought you into this.
And I can't imagine that it's not a confidence killer in the bedroom.
The thing is that I wouldn't imagine that most women would know about it unless their guy told them. Okay, or a girl.
That's death for a guy
or a girl, depending on who their partners are. However, there's plenty that you can do, and I guess you have to take it like any skin on your body. I mean, let's face it. As you age, your face will sag, your breasts will sag, your elbows. They say your elbows sag, so why not that too?
That's right.
So I guess you would want to make sure you do whatever you possibly can to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, I have to tell you, after reading about this article and seeing the video, I Googled vaginal cosmetic creams.
Oh my
gosh. Do you know they are out there?
Really?
There are creams for your vagina. And guess how much they are?
How much?
They start at like $95.
Wow. There are certain really expensive face creams too.
Well, yes.
So you're talking about, killing everything in the bedroom. I guess you want to make sure that you have a spry looking. Yeah. Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha?
You know what? I don't know what else to say. This is like a funny conversation.
Well, it is. And there was a recent study in Psychology of Women Quarterly.
Okay.
And it found that women who were dissatisfied with the appearance of their genitals had lower sexual self-esteem and satisfaction.
Interesting. So I guess they have to do whatever cosmetically they can to keep it looking prim and proper.
That's right. And that could explain why vaginal rejuvenation is becoming
a hot commodity.
Yes, it is. The number of procedures performed in the U.S. jumped 64% this last year.
Plastic surgery. Hi, I'm meeting with the plastic surgeon. Oh, really? What are you having done? Your eyes? No. I'm having my vagina done. I'm having it tightened and plumped. Really?
You don't know this. Maybe you do. We have a cosmetic vaginal rejuvenationalist in our town.
I do know this.
Oh, you do know that?
I do know
I think
this.
I told you about this. We wanted to get her on the show.
I don't remember that we discussed this, you and I, but if you say so.
Oh, I know so.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her on the show.
Okay. That would be an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, I know that there is somebody who does it, but I didn't know. I didn't know why you needed to know her.
Because I know everybody. I'm
yeah.
Anthony freaking Vincent Dennett.
It's funny.
So anyway, like I was saying, you don't need plastic surgery to keep your lady parts looking and feeling young. There are those creams that we talked about, and there are some little things you could try,
Okay, like what?
like avoiding the yo-yo diet.
Oh, yes. You can make your face look gaunt and your body look, funny. Why not that too? I imagine that it's part of your skin, it's part of your body. So whatever you're going to affect as far as your body is concerned, it's going to affect it there too.
That's right.
And the yo-yo diet's not good for anybody anyway. We've had this conversation. There's no reason for that. There's just no reason for that.
Sure. Well, just like your face, the more you gain, the more you lose.
Back and forth, yeah.
Right. It's
Up and down, not good.
The more swings in size, the more stretching.
Yeah.
The more stretching, the more sagging.
And the thing is, that's because you lose elasticity. So
right.
you have to make sure that, and that goes with any part of your body. Yeah. So when you're unfortunately at a higher weight or bigger body, and then you lose weight rapidly, it doesn't always go back as quickly as it should.
That's right. And
because of your elasticity.
We've had several friends of the salon who have had surgeries, bariatric surgeries, and
Oh my God.
lost a lot of weight, put it back on.
So fast, fast. And their skin is hanging everywhere.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, could doing your Kegel exercises, could that help?
Oh, yeah. And if you can't afford vaginal rejuvenation, then
Because most people,
do
I have to be
Kegels.
honest, I can't imagine anybody spending money on that, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, I can. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
It's a big deal.
I
For
guess
you and
because-
I, it's not a big deal.
Well, it's not a big deal for me because I don't think I sag anywhere. But anyway, that's besides the point.
I don't know anything about that. Nor do I want to. Thank you very much.
Well, you know what? I really don't care what you want. So there, buddy.
But, you're right about Kegels.
Yeah, I was thinking that, imagining that could possibly help your muscles.
Yeah, right. Tighter vagina, better sex. But do you know there's still a good chance that you're doing your Kegels wrong? And women don't
There's
do
still a
enough
good-
of them?
There's still a good chance that who's doing them wrong?
Well, I don't think guys are doing them wrong, but that women are doing their Kegels wrong. They don't do enough of them. They don't hold them for long enough, and the routine is, why am I explaining how to do a Kegel exercise?
You know
should
what?
be doing that.
You took the words right out of my mouth. So anyway, ladies, first of all and foremost, if you'd like to know exactly how to do your Kegel exercises, I will tell you, but email me, let me know that you're interested, and not only will I send you the
Here we go again.
information, I'll also send you a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon.
Of course you will.
Yes, because you know what?
I know.
I want you to feel beautiful inside and out.
And as do I.
Yes, so then stop complaining about it. So, here's this. First of all, you want to contract your pelvic floor muscle 5 seconds, relax, and repeat 100 times.
Ouch.
3 times a day.
Ooh.
Okay? Trust me, you can do it. Okay? And also, don't sit around. I know that everybody is in an office. A lot of people are. Don't sit around, though. Don't sit on your office chair. A little extra workout for your vaginal muscles? Trade in your desk chair for a Swiss ball for 15 minutes a day. This
How
will...
about an Italian ball?
Yeah, you wish. This forces the muscles of your pelvic floor to contract without doing a single squeeze. Feels like nothing's happening, but trust me, very efficient way to keep the pelvic floor toned.
And also, don't forget, ladies, stay sexually active.
Absolutely. Not only will it keep your man or whoever happy, it'll keep your vagina young.
That's right. The whole use it or lose it thing applies to...
We've said this forever.
Always, yes.
Yeah, use it or lose it. Remember, the clitoral atrophy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
If you're not getting enough stimulation and increased blood flow to that area, the tissue and the muscles change.
Yeah.
You know?
Blood flow is critical. It's absolutely critical for lubrication and orgasm. Okay, ladies?
Plus, a very unknown fact is that your guys' semen may have some anti-aging effects. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's the hormones,
Fatty acids, yeah.
right?
But
The anti-inflammatory compounds.
Yeah, that is actually true. That is why, I know this is going to sound crazy, there was a whole article, I'm going to actually have to find this, about semen. I mean, well, I think it might have mentioned it in the semen book that we were talking about a while back, but women were putting semen on their face. Do you remember this?
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a whole big thing about this. Yeah, people Google this, okay? Putting semen on your face, it helps with fine lines and wrinkles.
Yeah, that's right. And there was a Spanish study done in 2012.
Okay. Moving on. Exercise is always fabulous. But when you're riding your bicycle, rethink that bike seat, okay? Make sure that it's not too thin. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. I know you do. And some of you gentlemen, too. Get a wider bike seat, okay? Because you're actually hurting yourself. You're stretching yourself out, believe it or not, especially on those longer rides.
And, you know, what about cleansers and stuff?
Well, you want to be careful with any kind of cleansers. You don't want to scrub yourself too harshly either, because certain soaps can leave you dry and irritated, and your tissues are very, very sensitive down there. So be very careful. I would use something for sensitive skin, of course, and something with a little bit of a moisturizer, but not too much scent, okay? Because first of all, you don't want to overpower your own self. But secondly, sometimes those scents have things that could irritate you and make you feel uncomfortable and actually smell not so great if you use something that has too much of a scent. It kind of goes against who you are and your own personal makeup.
When you know, that's right about the mild cleansers. When I was in the service, they actually had to teach these young men about hygiene, and one of the things that they talked about, and I think they were joking, they would say often that if you're scrubbing it more than 3 times, you're not cleaning it.
You know, the thing is that you don't want to wipe away all the good bacteria. You
Right,
know,
right.
that's the problem also. I mean, that's what keeps you healthy, is the good bacteria.
Right. And you know what we talk about is a lot is switch things up a little bit in bed. You know, take charge. You know, climb on top. Being on the bottom can sometimes cause stretching, according to some of these articles. So get a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit creative.
Speaking of women on top, did you know that female executives are just as likely as their male counterparts to sneak around? Did you know this? There's a study in the Journal of Sex and Research. And it's like, when somebody has that like power trip,
Yeah.
they just feel like, the law does not abide to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
It seems like,
that the higher a person is in the business, the research says that the more appealing the secrecy of an affair becomes, and the less obligation the cheater feels to abide by the social norms. Wow.
yeah,
I thought,
power trip.
yeah, and I thought guys were just
Not
pigs.
only guys,
The female.
yeah,
So wait a minute.
gals too.
So we know a couple of female executives. Maybe.
I have a few that are my clients.
Oh, we're gonna talk about them.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No, they're my clients. 30 years. Yeah. I don't talk about my clientele.
Okay.
No.
Alrighty. You know, there was another study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine that was examining the sexual habits of over 10,000 heterosexual women, including finding that 36% had tried anal sex in their lifetime.
Wow, imagine this. Talking about the top, and now we're talking about the bottom.
That's
It's
right.
like bottoms up.
You know, the results showed the practice to be more common among women with higher levels of income and education.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
And interestingly enough, that 94% of women reported reaching orgasm during their last anal encounter.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to me. It's actually a much higher rate than reported by those who had vaginal intercourse or oral sex. It's very interesting to me, though. But, you know, we always talk about this. And, you know, my girlfriend who's in the industry.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
She always says, what does she always say?
It's all about the butt.
She doesn't say it like that. But,
Well,
yeah, I guess for radio, we have to keep it clean.
Yes, we do.
Because that could be a very dirty subject.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So, you're having sex with the executive. You're having sex on the top. You're having sex on the bottom. And then when you break up, what do you do? How do you block that ex? Do you block her? Do you not? Do you block
Or him.
Or him, right? So, you split up nicely because you're mature people.
I honestly feel that you do not block anybody. Because I think, and you know I always say this, you want to keep your friends closer, but your friends close, but your enemies closer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And you know what? There's actually a Western University study that found that people who stayed friends with their ex suffered the lowest levels of post-breakup stress. Yeah. Yeah. If it was a bitter split, cut all ties. But, you know, I think that the virtual presence could do, you know, more good than harm unless it's really, really bad. You know?
Then
Cut all ties.
cut everything.
I know some people, though, that are friends with their exes. And these people, I mean, I don't know how they do it because some of their exes, crazy. Crazy.
Guys, I'm going to tell you, have your lady hit the hay early and get lucky tomorrow. You know, women who sleep longer are more easily aroused, according to research from University of Michigan.
Really?
Yeah. Among women in relationships, an extra hour of sleep increases the likelihood of action the next day by about 14%.
Really? You know what? I know that sleep is good for you and I know that you should have sleep, but I didn't realize that it would raise the level of sex hormones that affect desire. That's amazing.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
Seduction.
Now we're talking my language.
Yes. Okay. You want to know how to seduce her with fire?
I know how to do it.
Okay. Well, sexual attraction is really primitive. Okay. It's like, you know, caveman challenges. That's really hot for women.
I know.
Swimming, moving in water, mountain climbing, very alluring.
Moving rocks.
Things like that. Yeah. It's almost like they said,
Macho.
primitive.
Yeah, it's macho.
Yeah. It's very macho and it's hot as hell. But, you know, modern risk taking these days, like riding a motorcycle without a helmet,
Oh, that's stupid.
not hot at all. A new study at the University of Alaska finds that primal physical danger lets you flaunt your evolutionary fitness, but 21st century risks only advertised poor character, lack of good judgment, and that sort of thing. So, go for the kayaking and the deep sea diving. Women find that sexy. Rock climbing, like I said, I think that's hot as hell. Just not, being stupid. Okay, we got an email. Another email. I love these emails. It's so much fun. So Steven wants to know how he can get into the habit of daily flossing.
You mean flossing every day?
That's what I said, daily flossing. Did you not understand?
Oh, I understand. And okay, Steven, I want you to try this test. Okay? I want you to floss. And then when you're done, I want you to take a little sniff of that string you just flossed with.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
That used strand is what your breath smells like, dude. I'm about to turn 40. And,
I love that.
and as you get a little older, guys have different issues. But I haven't experienced this yet, but I hear about it from a lot of our older clients, and that if you've been hitting the bathroom at night, like you get up in the middle of the night because you gotta go, you gotta go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Try hitting the gym. During the day, because active men have a lower risk of nocturia. Nocturia is the urge to urinate many times a night.
Oh, yeah, that could really be very disruptive.
Yeah, yes, it could. Sleep disruptive.
Yeah.
And they have, minerals and berries and stuff for that. But a study in medicine and science in sports and exercise found that men who worked out are 13% less likely to suffer from nocturia than those who do no physical activity at all.
Well, no nocturia for you, right?
You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com. Click on demand and scroll directly to us.
And get the lowdown on getting down. Tune into your bad boy inside you.
Or your bad girl.
Listen each week. We always have something sexy to say. Got questions? Email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.